Climate activist Sonam Wangchuk, known for leading the movement seeking statehood and sixth schedule protections for Ladakh, was detained by police in Leh under the stringent National Security Act on Friday, September 26th. Now, according to his wife, Wangchuk has been moved to a jail in Jodhpur. The central government had earlier held him responsible for instigating violent protests in Leh earlier this week, which tragically left 4 people dead and over 50 injured in police firing. The arrest has triggered reactions from leaders across the political spectrum, including Congress leader Shashi Tharoor and Priyanka Chaturvedi of the Uddhav Thackeray faction, as well as BJP spokespersons.
That's a great pity. Honestly, I believe that we should have a sensible response to the aspirations of the people. On this, my stand is the same, whether it concerns Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, whether it concerns Ladakh. The aspirations of the people should be the first and foremost preoccupation of the government. And you know, we have given an autonomous hill council to the Gorkha people in the so-called Gorkha land. We've done it for the Bodo people in so-called Boda land. This should not be such a difficult decision, but who knows, the government in its own wisdom has its own calculations. But to my mind, one slogan, if you like, the aspirations of the people should always be uppermost. I do not want to substitute my outside perspective sitting here in Kerala to a decision made on the basis of local conditions there. I have a lot of respect for Mr. Wangchuk. I think many people do. What basis the government had for their decision, the government will announce, no doubt, in due course. And we leave it, I think, to those who are in charge of law and order to decide what is the best way to restore law and order. But the principle remains, let us please support the aspirations of the people, to which, of course, he was also giving voice very strongly.
The protests that we saw in Ladakh have been unheard of. The kind of violence that it spilled into, and 4 people have lost their lives and several people were injured. Their demand has been that it should be declared a state, and they have been in protest for months. And yet we do not have a government which is engaging with them. We saw a similar situation in Manipur, and we must not forget, these are all border states. So it is all the more important for the Home Minister of this country that instead of campaigning in Bihar, instead of busying himself with India-Pakistan matches, he should be more focused to ensure that we have 2 hostile neighbors across our borders, to ensure that no such situation arises where the situation gets destabilized. Now, Sonam Wangchuk was peacefully protesting. It is unfortunate that every responsibility has gone on his head while as far as the conversation that was to happen, the government of India does not hold itself responsible for the situation that escalated into violence. It's extremely unfortunate, and I'm hoping that the Supreme Court, the High Court, if the family chooses to move that, will do justice to them.
Controversy arose after Wangchuk's wife questioned on social media why he could not attend a UN conference, prompting BJP leaders to sharply refute the claims, citing his responsibility for the recent unrest.
नेशनल सिक्योरिटी एक्ट लगा है साहब, उनको आप हीरो कैसे कह रही हैं? somebody's hero is somebody's terrorist. इसलिए ऐसा नहीं कहें. इस तरीके का वो अगर पाकिस्तानियों के संपर्क में जैसे एजेंसियों का दावा है तो वो कतई हमारे हीरो नहीं हो सकते. और भारत का अधिकारी प्रतिनिधि जो है यूएनओ में हिस्सा लेता है, क्यों हिस्सा लेने जाएंगे वो, और क्या किस हैसियत से जाएंगे? उनके द्वारा जो आंदोलन किया गया उससे कितने निर्दोषों की जान हुई है, इसके जिम्मेवार सोनम वांगचुक हैं. उनकी पत्नी आज जो कह रही है ये बिल्कुल गलत है. इस तरीके की बात और इस तरह की भाषा कि भारत का प्रतिनिधित्व कोई निजी व्यक्ति करेगा यूएनओ में, ये क्या एक नए विवाद को जन्म देना चाहते हैं ये लोग?
The use of the NSA brings attention to one of India's most stringent preventive detention laws, historically invoked against separatists, gangsters, and radical preachers. The NSA allows authorities to act preemptively against individuals seen as a threat to public order or national security. Under the law, a detention order can be executed like a warrant, allowing the government to hold a person in specified locations, transfer them across states, and set conditions of detention, all without filing formal charges or presenting evidence in open court. Wangchuk has legal recourse. He may challenge the detention by filing a representation to the government, which must be reviewed by an advisory board within 3 weeks. If the board finds insufficient grounds, he must be released immediately. Alternatively, he may approach the High Court or the Supreme Court under Article 226 and 32 of the Constitution to contest the detention or seek revocation should the government choose to revoke the order. Until any of these remedies take effect, however, the NSA empowers authorities to detain Wangchuk, making this a high-stakes situation closely watched across the country.